Hi everybody, welcome back to Project Happy Home. For those of you who are new here, welcome. I'm Tanya, a doctor, lawyer turned homeschool mom of 3 kids, ages 10, 7, and 5. It's hard for me to remember how old they are now because they're all fall babies, so it all rolled over. If you're interested in videos about secular homeschooling, raising a child with ADHD, and living a more intentional lifestyle, you have come to the right place, so be sure to hit that subscribe button. So in today's video, I'm participating in a collaboration hosted by my friends Didi and Ximena over at Chips and Salsa, and I'm also joined by my friend Lindsay over at Momma Schmooze Homeschool Reviews, and we're all going to be talking about a general homeschool update, just evaluating how our homeschool year has been going so far, and talking about what kinds of things are working, what kinds of things we might change, etc. I will link their videos in the description box down below, so be sure to check out their videos once you're finished with mine. Didi and Ximena both have kids who are slightly older than mine, and Lindsay has kids who are slightly younger than mine, so you'll get a good spread of how homeschool is going for those different age groups. So if you've been watching my channel for a long time, you know that I'm a pretty eclectic homeschooler, meaning like I like to research a lot. I like to research a lot of different homeschool philosophies and incorporate the parts that I think would work best for our family's personality and our family's homeschool style. And so that means that we do a mix of traditional homeschooling with workbooks, a lot of Evan Moore workbooks, for example, and Kumon and things like that, as well as some computer stuff, like we're going to incorporate teaching textbooks soon. We're also working with things like Adventure Academies, Adventurous Mailbox, and just other interesting online things that we work with. And then we also do Charlotte Mason, so we do a lot of crafting in this house, a lot of read-alouds, a lot of living literature. We also do a little bit of Waldorf in the sense that I like to maintain a Waldorf type rhythm throughout the day where we try to move from one head activity to a hand activity to like a more spirit kind of mind activity to a body activity. And I just associate that with like that Waldorf awareness that, you know, you need to shift from intensities throughout the day. I like to think that we have incorporated the best parts of those things or the things that are most suited to us. If you guys are new to homeschooling, I really want to emphasize that when you watch these videos like homeschool updates and homeschool, reevaluations and things like that, take the pieces that make sense to you, that resonate with you, but don't feel like you have to replicate any one person's homeschool, because we are in our 4th year of homeschooling now, and I will say that one of my biggest mistakes early on was trying to be like every type of homeschool mom that I admired, truly, like trying to be like Waldorf to the max, trying to be Charlotte Mason to the max, trying to be, traditional to the max, trying to do all the things that I saw that were good. And the wonderful part about homeschooling nowadays is that we are exposed to so much awesome stuff. Like there are so many great resources out there that we cannot possibly do them all. And that was a hard lesson for me to learn, and I'm still learning it. I'm still working through that, because sometimes you see, yet a new, nature program or yet another math program that looks even better than the one you did. And you just want to like lump that in. You're like, I'm going to fold that into Fun Friday or whatever. Don't do that. That would be my biggest advice to you, especially if you're a new homeschooler. Pick, 1 or 2 resources that you want to work with per subject and go with those, find the flow with those. And if it's really not working, then look into your other options and switch. There's no reason that you can't switch. I have nothing against switching curriculum. I'm just saying, don't try to pile on all at once. Don't pick all the great things and do all of them, because the temptation is strong. I totally understand this. I'm somebody who's tried it myself, and it just makes for a giant mess. Over the last fall, my biggest success, or our biggest success, but honestly it's mine because I'm the teacher here, has been to minimize the amount of resources we're using to relax and just be okay with the fact that I'm not using that brand new shiny thing that I saw on Instagram or something, So I would say that that's probably my biggest evolution as a homeschool teacher in this 4th year of homeschooling, is to really start to feel okay with the fact that, I'm going to go with the resources that work for me. I can see great things and not buy them. So that's been my greatest thing when I evaluate myself. Coming to challenges, I would say that the biggest challenge that we've had over the past fall has been my son's reluctance to enjoy school. And this is a hard one for me because although my son has ADHD, he has been my most enthusiastic learner, honestly, the one who enjoys school the most, who loves to learn new things, who's always reading like nonfiction on his own and fiction, and just he was very enthused by learning. He would have trouble focusing and getting through like a page of math facts or something. But when we would have those struggles, it would be very much about the ability to focus. And it wasn't so much about disrespect or just, you know, preteen grumpiness. And now the preteen hormones and grumpiness is kicking in, and that's starting to, you know, it started to fray at our relationship a little bit throughout the fall. As a mom, that was hard because, you know, my boy's growing up and there is that natural push and pull between us at this age. But as a teacher, it was definitely hard because I am more of a type A teacher. Like a lot of my looseness is learned. Like I need to work on that myself. Like I need to talk myself into being more easygoing, and I can, but disrespect is a big trigger for me. So we've been working a lot on just that, on the fact that although I'm his mom, although we homeschool, there are still certain ways to talk respectfully. There's still certain things that you have to do. And we are not unschoolers, you know, like we do a certain amount of unschooling, I suppose, because I allow a lot of freedom with their choices throughout the day and their directions of research, etc., their topics that they choose for creative writing. But I do believe in getting a certain amount of work done over a certain amount of time. It's not rigid. It doesn't have to be a certain amount of work per day or per week. But I intend that my children understand that progress must be made, even when it's sometimes tedious, like, you know, math facts. Figuring out that balance between us, you know, my respect for his autonomy, but also his respect for my authority has been a big challenge over the fall. And I would say only in the last like month and a half or so has it started to get better. And I don't know what exactly has made it get better. I think a lot of talking helped. I think me trying to adjust for the things that he found most strenuous helped. For example, one very practical change we made was just how the work showed up for him every day. Before, what I was doing, and if you watch my day in the life video for a random Monday, you'll see this, was giving each child an index card with a list of to-dos. And that to-do list included the traditional bookwork, as well as the living literature read-alouds, as well as making banana bread, and all sorts of things, just crafting, everything. He liked the list, but he didn't like the fact that he would see this stuff sort of pile up in front of him. You know, when he had to get his books out, he would see like an actual physical large pile. And that stressed him out. It made him feel like the day was going to be long. It made him feel like there was this mountain, literally, of work in front of him. So one easy change that I made was I got these file folders, and I will link them in the description box down below. I really love them. They have these little things. They have 12 different tabs, and you can see that they're numbered 1 through 12 here. You also have these little label spots. I haven't actually created a system yet where each section has, you know, a subject heading or something like that. But what we do is we just slide in one page of work in each day, and they're double-sided, so you really get 12 different colors, but 24 pockets. And then I just slide in like just the worksheets. So all of his work for the day will go into this tiny packet, and often I don't fill up all the folders or anything. So he feels like, oh, there's only this much. And psychologically, it really helps him to do the work. Another thing that we've done is that we reserve the last packet for like holding the work from the week. And we do a family weekly meeting on Sundays. So that way all the kids get to show their dad like kind of like what they've been working on. They get to talk about it. They get to visually see it and review it again. And I really like this system. I think we're going to stick with it for a while. So, but again, I'm not going to get wedded to a system. I'm just going to go with the flow. And I think that's a big part of reevaluating your homeschool always, is that to acknowledge that your kids are going to be changing, you're going to be changing, your family's needs are going to be changing, the ages of all your kids are going to be changing as you homeschool, your location, your house, the type of homeschool room you have, all of that will shift how you homeschool, and that is okay. I think getting to the place where you feel like that is okay is a big thing, you know, like understanding that as they change, as you change, as we all age together, as we change environments, that your homeschool and your homeschool routine and your homeschool methods don't have to stay rigid. That's a really comforting thing once you arrive there. that you can just go with the flow, literally, and be okay so long as you're still seeing progress. So I would say psychologically for me, that has been the biggest shift this fall, is just I am much better at going with the flow. I am okay so long as we are still learning together, so long as we are all progressing. I'm not so concerned with completion. I'm not so concerned with how much is done in a day. I just want to see progress. And that's another reason I really like this binder, because at the end of the week, you see like, you know, examples of different things. So as far as the girls go, I would say that they've been doing a great job. I have my middle daughter in sort of a hybrid first grade, second grade, because she's born in late November. So she's sort of, you know, she just turned 7. So some things she does in second grade, some things she does in first grade. And she's been doing great. She's been, you know, just, she's her normal enthusiastic self. She's like very good at school. She likes school. She likes finishing her work. It's not a big deal. She's just going along swimmingly as usual. My youngest is like with us full time for the first time this year. And that's been a big shift to our homeschool, because before she used to go to a part-time preschool for 3 mornings a week, so like 9 hours a week. And that was when we did the bulk of our traditional schoolwork, you know, the sit-down book work. But surprisingly, my youngest is really good at traditional schoolwork, and she really enjoys it and whizzes through it. And I feel like we might have to buy her new books like next month, because she's just finishing everything from kindergarten up, which is fine. I'm just trying to give her more and more activities. You know, she's still at the age where I let her do what she wants. If she feels like doing bookwork, she does a little bookwork with us. If we do some interactive math, we do interactive math. If she wants to do the World School app, she does that. You know, I'm very easygoing with her. 1, because she is ahead of where I thought she would be at this time. But 2, because, you know, at a 5-year-old age level, I really believe that they're always learning. You know, there's no real way to do homeschool wrong at 5 unless you're making them do worksheets all day long. So I pretty much let her choose her own adventure, and she's so enthusiastic about everything that it has been a great experience to have her at home with us full time. The last thing I'll talk about for our homeschool reevaluation is just how I do record keeping. Now, if you watch my homeschool planning videos, which I also did with Lindsay over at Momma Schmooze Homeschool Reviews, you'll know that I created this beautiful happy planner style planner with printables, and it was all going to be exciting and hold all my information, and I have not used it very much. The reason I have not used it very much is because 1, it was just big, and I was worried about the size, and I didn't like that feeling. 2, honestly, it was really a little bit too beautiful for me. Like, I get a little bit intimidated sometimes when I see a really beautiful planner and I feel like I need to fill it out in this very beautiful way, and it just wasn't working for me this year, especially with my new philosophy of just going with the flow. It just wasn't set up for a going with the flow kind of thing. So enter the evolution of my homeschool planner for this year, which is this little bullet planner from Scribbles That Matter. And it's a pre-decorated bullet journal. So see, these are all pre-printed for you. And so you have like a this week column, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then a weekend box. You also have a monthly calendar at the beginning. It's all pre-laid out. And you have a little picture to decorate and a habit tracker. And I loved this. I'll show this in more detail later on in the year when I do a planner review video. I'm a little concerned though, you guys, because I'm not sure if Scribbles That Matter, which is the company that makes this, is making this exact type of A5 bullet planner this year. And I'm trying to contact them to find out if they are. If they are, I will link it down below. I won't get into all sorts of planner details in this video, but just suffice it to say that I'm a little bit nervous that they're not going to make this next year, because it worked out so perfectly for me. I just started it, you know, later on in the year. And I do this thing where, you know, I will like tape in little show things that we go to, or the Squilt calendar. I keep lists of like the morning basket books that we're reading. I also keep lists of work and curriculum and field trips and stuff, and it's just been working out really, really well for me. Honestly, if they don't make this exact style again, I will probably just buy a blank bullet journal from them and try to recreate similar spreads, and that will be fine with me too. So I've been really, really happy with this. It's a nice, easy thing that I can slip into my bag and take everywhere, and it suits my, you know, fly by the seat of your pants kind of style this year. So that has been a great addition to our homeschool. So you guys, that's basically how homeschool's been going for us this year. You know, I'm really appreciating this new like way of looking at things for me, where I'm just like, I'm gonna do what works for us and I'm gonna be okay so long as I see forward progress. So that's where we are. I would love to hear about how your homeschool experience has been going this year. Let me know what your biggest like wins have been, what your challenges have been, and let me know if I can help out in any way, or we can help out each other in the comments. I really enjoy learning from you guys in the comments. So I always read them. Even if I don't comment back, please be sure that I do read them. So if you have a specific question for me that you don't want to put in the comments, you can send it to contactprojecthappyhome@gmail.com, and I will be happy to help out if possible. As always, you guys, thank you so much for your time. I really do appreciate it, and I wish you all the very best holiday season.